Hi friends, it's Ashley and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 of my most anticipated adult books that are coming out next year in 2026. And most of these are romantasy. 9 out of 10 of them are romantasy, but one of them is romantic fantasy. But I still wanted to include it on this list because it's one that sounds like a lot of fun and that I'm super excited for. And I will not be talking about any sequels in this video, so I'll either be talking about books that are first books in a series or standalones. And so I'm going to be talking about these in order of release date from soonest to latest. Book number 1 comes out on January 6th and is Rings of Fate by Melissa de la Cruz. So this one is book 1 in the Curses and Crowns series. Our main female character in this one is Adalyn, and she has no interest in being anyone's princess. She is far too busy running her tavern, fending off unwanted marriage proposals, and dreaming of escape. But one day, she ends up meeting our male love interest, who is a prince, and he offers her a proposition. And he wants her to pretend to be his fiancé, because he has been carrying around these cursed rings with him since childhood, and the curse has really been getting to him lately. And in order to make the journey to reverse the curse, he needs a bride to hide his secrets. And so that's where Adalyn comes in. And so she ends up agreeing because this is offering her the escape that she's been seeking. And so our story goes from there. Book number 2 comes out on January 27th. It's Silver and Blood by Jessie Mihalik. So this one follows our main female character, Riella, who is a mage. And one day, a vicious beast ends up attacking the people in her village, and so she reluctantly agrees to enter the Forbidden Forest to kill this beast because apparently she is the only available mage at that time. However, she is still a beginner mage, and so she very much has not mastered her powers yet. And so once she gets in the forest, she realizes that she is way over her head. And so things are not looking good for her, and they are made even worse when it turns out that it's not just one beast, but there are 2 beasts. And so it's looking like she might not survive this encounter. But then she is rescued by our male love interest, Garrick. And Garrick is a very powerful mage, so he ends up taking Riella under his wing and teaching her more about her magic and how to use it. However, he is also cursed, and so his magical powers have been weakening. As the 2 of them start to learn more about Riella's magic, they realize that her past and his past may be connected, and that Riella's life or death might be the key to reversing his curse. Book number 3 comes out on February 17th, and it's Last Stitch by Chantelle Kerr. And this one is being described as blending the time travel wonder of Outlander, the witchy magic of A Discovery of Witches, and the sizzling enemies to lovers chemistry readers crave. Our main character in this one is Oxford graduate student Lily, and she ends up inheriting her grandmother's mysterious hourglass pendant, which results in her being transported back in time to Victorian England. And in this version of Victorian England, magic is forbidden and those who wield it are erased from existence. And Lily learns that she isn't just any time traveler, but that she is a weaver, and as such, she has the power to rewrite the very threads of fate. And she ends up meeting August Hawthorne, our male love interest of the story. And he is a witch hunter, and he is sworn to erasing weavers from existence. And so he should be hunting her, but he starts to fall in love with her instead. And Lily also finds herself falling for him. She is going to have to make a tough decision because she's going to have to choose between embracing her powers and saving the weavers, knowing she'll never see home again, or letting magic die forever and watching the man who owns her heart become just another casualty of history. Book number 4 comes out on February 24th, and it's A Trident and the Pearl by Sarah K.L. Wilson. And this is book 1 in the Fisher King series. Our main female character in this one is Queen of her kingdom, but when disaster strikes, killing her husband and destroying half her nation, she ends up turning to the gods for help. And they do help her, but it comes with a catch. And that catch is that she has to marry the first man that sets foot on her pier. And so she's expecting a neighboring prince to show up, but instead it ends up being a sunburnt and stinky fisherman. And so she's angry about this and feels like she's been played by the gods, but she does honor the agreement and she ends up marrying him, but now she is out for revenge against the gods. But little does she know that her new husband is actually the god of the sea, that he came to her kingdom for help because his kingdom has been besieged. And so he believes that she can help him out, but she doesn't know any of this. And so our story goes from there. Book number 5 comes out on March 3rd and it's The Library of Amorlin by Kalyn Josephson. And this is book number 1 in the Age of Beasts series. So our main female character in this one is Kasira, and she used to be a powerful con artist, but then she was caught. And so now she is working off her lengthy prison sentence by hunting dangerous magical creatures. But one day, an ambassador from the kingdom ends up offering her a deal: her freedom in exchange for infiltrating and destabilizing the magical institution that is meant to protect all 6 kingdoms, the Library of Amorlin. And so she agrees, and she ends up becoming the new assistant librarian at this library. And her goal is to bring down the librarian. And the librarian is handsome but prickly, and he has some secrets that are about to catch up to both of them. And so our story goes from there. Book number 6 comes out on March 31st and is This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me by Ilona Andrews. So this is the one book on the list that is romantic fantasy as opposed to romantasy, because while it has a central romantic subplot, it is primarily an epic fantasy. And the romance is supposed to be a slow burn that exists within the larger fantasy narrative. So this is book 1 in the Maggie the Undying series. And this one is being pitched as Outlander meets Game of Thrones. So our main character in this one, Maggie, ends up waking up in a fictional world, and she recognizes this world instantly. It is the world of a dark fantasy book series that she loves that is also unfinished. And so she ends up using the knowledge that she has of this world to navigate it. And she quickly finds out that she can't die in this world, which is very interesting. But the same cannot be said for the characters in the world. They can die, and she is like starting to become attached to these characters. So instead of trying to get home back to her world, she ends up trying to change the fate of these characters because she knows how their fates end, and it's not a good one. Book number 7 comes out on April 28th, and it's Bloodbound by Ellis Hunter. So this is the first book in a trilogy that takes place in a world where witches and dragon riders are rivals. And one of our main characters in this one is Astrid, and she's a witch, and she's the last witch of her kind and also the heir of her kingdom. She knows that she is destined to die, and this is because of a centuries-old covenant between the witches and the dragon riders, where she must duel the heir of the kingdom of Batra, a dragon rider, for the source of all magic, the heart. And unfortunately that means that she has to face a prince who is the most powerful dragon rider in eons. And so she doesn't believe that she has any chance at all at winning this duel. And then our other main character is Skylar, and she is part of a traveling troupe, and her troupe ends up going to where the duel is going to be held because of all the people that are gathering there. And Skylar, she despises the royal family and everything that they stand for, especially since the King's Guard killed her mother. However, her best friend ends up going missing, and Skylar's search to find her ends up bringing her closer than ever to the royal family. And her and Astrid's fates end up intertwining, and our story goes from there. Book number 8 comes out on May 19th in Strange Familiars by Chow. And this is book 1 in a duology. So in this one, our main female character is going to school to be a magical veterinarian, and the love interest of the story is also going to this school, and the two of them are rivals and they don't get along at all. But they end up having to work together in order to investigate mysterious magical surges that are threatening London. And also, our main female character has a snarky cat familiar. Book number 9 comes out on May 26th, and it's Wings of Life by Meghan LaFay. So this is book 1 in a series. In this one, our main female character is sent to an enemy kingdom to marry the High Dane's son. But what caught my eye about this one is it doesn't seem like she is going to form a relationship with him. Instead, it says that she ends up having her heart stolen by the weapon master of this kingdom. And so I found that little twist very intriguing. And so through this weapon master, she ends up learning about the secrets of this kingdom, which include a dragon hidden in plain sight, which she was sent there to be a spy. And so now she has the secrets that she was looking for, but now she's feeling conflicted because of her growing feelings for this weapon master. And so now the question is, will she choose duty and family, or will she choose love? So book number 10 and the final book on this list is The Wretched Divine by Adalyn Grace. So this one, I'm not sure about the exact release date yet for it. The author on her Instagram does say that it is coming out in 2026, but she doesn't have like an exact date. And Goodreads says October, but I'm not sure how accurate that is. But this one I'm really excited for because this author also wrote the Belladonna series, which is a series that I very much adore. And that series is YA fantasy, but this series is her adult debut. And this is book 1 in a trilogy. And it takes place in a French Renaissance-inspired kingdom. And our main female character in this one is a knight who is caught in a warring attraction between a vengeful demon and a battle-hardened angel. And also in this world, humans must bind their souls to an angel or a demon in order to access magic. And so this one just sounds like it has so much potential and promise, and I'm very excited for it. Alright, so those are some adult romantasy and romantic fantasy books coming out next year that I am super excited for. Let me know down below if any of these caught your eye, or if there is a romantasy book that I didn't include on this list that you are super excited for that's coming out in 2026. Let me know what that is in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye!